Here's the complete script for Your Brain Needs Boredom. Right now, deep inside your brain, your default mode network is going dark every single time your thumb drifts toward your phone. And the neuroscientists who mapped this network admit they cannot switch it back on for you. This is the circuit that builds your memories. It's the circuit that generates your best ideas, the ones that arrive in the shower, not at your desk. Right now, you are starving it, one notification at a time. But high performers have found one way to force it back online, and by the end of this, you'll know exactly what it is. Here's what that starvation is doing to you. Your days are starting to blur together, aren't they? Not because nothing is happening, because nothing is being processed. Your memory's filing system needs quiet time to sort what mattered from what didn't, and it isn't getting it. Your gut feelings, the instincts that used to guide good decisions, are going quiet too. Creative insight, the kind that solves a problem you've been stuck on for weeks, depends on this same circuit, and it's starting to run dry. You feel busier than ever and somehow emptier. That's not a coincidence. That's a network being denied the one condition it needs to function. The default mode network lives in the space between your medial prefrontal cortex and your posterior cingulate cortex, and it only switches on when the outside world stops demanding your attention. When a task ends, when a screen goes dark, in that gap it replays your day, stitches unrelated memories into meaning, and runs simulations of your future. But here's the part that should terrify you. This network doesn't activate instantly. It takes roughly 8 to 15 minutes of genuine, unbroken understimulation to fully engage, and most people never make it that far. The moment boredom starts to itch, a hand reaches for a phone and the timer resets to 0, over and over. All day, the circuit that builds you, quite literally, into who you are never gets to finish its work. The scientists who discovered this admit they're not fighting biology. They're fighting design. The apps on your phone were built by teams whose entire job is to make sure that 8 to 15-minute window never opens. They can measure the exact fMRI signature of a starved default mode network, but they can't legislate your habits, and they can't compete with a notification engineered by people with billion-dollar incentives to keep your thumb moving. One researcher put it plainly: the boredom your brain requires to function has been quietly engineered out of your day. Not by accident, by design. And here's where it gets uncomfortable, because you've probably been doing the opposite of what actually helps. You think scrolling or binging a show is rest. It isn't. Passive, high-stimulation content keeps your default mode network just as suppressed as a demanding work task, arguably more, because the variable rewards keep firing dopamine and holding your attention hostage. Meanwhile, something you've been taught to avoid, actual uncut boredom, is the only thing that lets the network switch on. Folding laundry, standing in line with no phone, staring at a ceiling. These wastes of time are neurologically the opposite. You'll notice the damage first at night. Behind the default mode network sits your hippocampus, and it depends on those same idle windows to file the day's events into long-term memory. Skip the boredom, and you skip the filing. That's why you're lying awake replaying half-formed thoughts your brain never got to process during the day. Its filing cabinet is backed up, and it's trying to catch up while you're supposed to be sleeping. So here's the rule the experts quietly follow, the one that never makes it into productivity content because it sounds like doing nothing: manufactured boredom. Deliberately, every day. Writers, scientists, and elite performers protect one true monotony window: 15 to 20 minutes with zero novelty, a walk with the phone left behind, a shower with no podcast, a commute in silence, radio off. Not relaxation, not entertainment, monotony on purpose. This is why so many breakthrough ideas arrive during a walk or a shower. Those are the only unguarded moments left where the default mode network is finally allowed to finish a thought. The rule isn't rest more. It's starve your brain of novelty on a schedule before it starves itself of insight. Tonight, pick one task and strip it of stimulation. Wash the dishes with no phone nearby. Walk around the block without music. Lie in the dark for 10 minutes before sleep with nothing playing. Let the itch of boredom build past the point where you'd normally reach for a screen. That's the window opening. Let it stay open. But your default mode network isn't the only region your phone is quietly starving. Deep behind it, another structure is losing its ability to do something you need every single night to survive the next day. And it may already be failing you more than you realize.